Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to engage a virtual audience. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to get your virtual audience to chat to you, talk to you, and even turn on their camera without you even asking. In this video, I'm going to share the one step that you need to do to engage your virtual audience. I'm going to show you a tip how to be in the top 1% of all virtual presenters. I'm going to share how to put you and your attendees on stage to help them engage in a virtual program. And then I'm going to share a story of a person who said they were not even going to engage and how much they engage by the end of the program. The first tip that I have for you to engage with your audience is to make sure to test your technology. Without the base level of technology, you will not be able to engage your audience. Have you ever been on that virtual meeting where somebody freezes in the, you probably know what I'm talking about. That's the one thing that you don't want to have happen to you as a virtual presenter. One of the things I like to say is become a MAVIN presenter, where M-A-V-I-N stands for 5 things. Make sure you're ready to show up and that your background looks great. A, audio. Make sure that you have a clear audio and that you have a great external microphone for your virtual meeting. V is for video. Make sure you have one of the best cameras and clear cameras with great camera angles and making sure that that camera is at eye level. I is for illumination. Make sure you have a lot of light and make sure it's consistent light, not just natural light that might move at different times of the day. Make sure that you have great and consistent lighting throughout your meeting. And then N is for network. Make sure you have the best network connectivity. Often you can call your provider, ask for the customer loyalty department, and you can get upgrades. The first time I did this, I got 10 times the speed and it cost me $20 a month less. So if you're having troubles with your network, make sure and fix that before you present. The next tip is log in early. Make sure you log in at least 30 minutes early. That way you can meet your host, you can retest all your technology. If it's a new platform, you can check out all the features before the guests ever arrive. You should never have your attendees see you fumbling on stage, trying to figure out how to share screen or anything else like that. What you want to do is make sure all of that is taken care of. And once it's taken care of, then you can admit people early. And much like walking around in an in-person audience, you can talk and engage with that group, find out something about them before the presentation starts so that you have already made connections and already have engaged them even before your program has begun. The next tip to engage your virtual audience is technology. Find out what platform that you're meeting on. It could be Zoom, Teams, WebEx, all these other different kind of platforms that you might be on. You want to make sure which features are available there to you and then find out which of those that you might want to use. It could be chat, it could be a poll, it could be a breakout room, it could be share screen. Every platform is a little bit different, so you want to make sure you know, number one, which platform you're on, and number two, what features does it have so that you can use that platform to the best. If you're liking these tips, make sure and go to the bottom and click the button, subscribe, hit the bell to make sure you get the notifications for all my latest videos. Okay, this next tip is technique. This is the tip that requires no additional technology. So for those who are technophobes, you want to listen up to this. In technique, it's how you use the human person, to engage your audience. There are 3 top items that you can think about. Your authenticity, or who you are. Your vulnerability, showing how you may not be perfect, but that you are more like them. And storytelling. In fact, I'm going to share a story at the end of one of the top people I know who used these 3 items to engage an audience of 650 people on virtual. This next tip is for Zoom users, and it's available in different ways on other platforms. This tip will help you become a top 1% presenter on a platform, and it's a feature used rarely by other people. This tip is called PowerPoint as Virtual Background, and it's been in Zoom for over a year now. You can edit any slide deck that you want inside a PowerPoint, and then if you use the features where you click Share, and then Advanced instead of Basic, click Advanced, and then PowerPoint as Virtual Backgrounds, you can change your background with every slide and have yourself inside of it. One of the top ways I've seen to use this is that you actually make your image as big as possible, like this in the frame, and that you could actually put your tips right here on the top left and the top right for the content that you want to present. By doing this, you maintain your largest presence that you can on a virtual meeting while still being able to present your information. And out of 100 presentations that I've seen, I rarely see one that knows how to use this and use this well. If you can figure out this feature, you can become a top 1% presenter in no time at all. In this next tip, I'm going to show you how to spotlight to be able to engage your audience more by controlling what they see. In Spotlight, it makes sure that you or anybody else that you choose can share the stage with you. So while virtual doesn't have an actual physical stage, it has a virtual stage, and spotlighting allows that even though there may be hundreds of people inside of the meeting, it makes sure that everyone sees you and anybody else that you'd like to join you. By default, it often will just show the person speaking, but if somebody has a mic open and accidentally makes a noise, it will take the camera away from you, and so thus they take the spotlight by accident. By using the spotlight feature, you can really control this. One of my favorite techniques to use this is then to engage the audience. And let's say I have a question such as, hey, how do you engage your audience? And let's say Sarah raises her hand, then we spotlight Sarah and myself on stage so the two of us look like we're having a conversation. When Sarah's done answering the question, you remove the spotlight and then I take the camera again. By using this spotlight is one of the ways that you can control and engage the audience more and let them know when you are on stage and when you are sharing the stage with other people. The reason why spotlighting is so important is that it's almost impossible for your attendee to be multitasking when they're spotlighted and they know all of their friends are watching them. So that's another reason why the spotlight is so important to create audience engagement in virtual. So let me share a story about how a top speaker used many of these techniques to engage their audience. We got a chance to see Elizabeth Gilbert do a keynote during a conference. If you don't remember the name, she wrote the book Eat, Pray, Love, and she had Julia Roberts play her inside of a movie. She sold 16 million books. And what was so extraordinary is that she had one of the most engaging keynotes that I've seen over the last 4 years. How did I know that? Well, somebody chatted halfway through her presentation and said, I feel like I'm having a one-on-one conversation in an Italian cafe with Elizabeth Gilbert. And I looked over to the participants list and it said 650 people were logged in. Now, how does she do that? Well, she did it with her authenticity. She really shared, this is who I am. We actually saw a place of her home. And she shared many insider stories behind things that other people didn't know, the behind the scenes stories of things that happened in the movie. The next was her vulnerability. She started in easy ways first about saying, oh, I'm here in my yoga pants, right? And everybody else was too, since it was during the pandemic. But the other way that she showed her vulnerability is that she shared this quote, it's not scary writing your first bestseller book. What's really scary is writing the book after the best-selling book. And everybody agreed with that. And she even went so far as that she wrote that book, and not very many people knew the story, that when she called her publisher and said, I've finished writing you the book and I'm not giving it to you. And the publisher was like, why? And she goes, I don't really believe this is me. So she had so much pressure for writing the second book, she felt like it was a book that was not authentic to her. So it took her 2 additional years to write that book and finally publish it and finally be okay with it being a bestseller or not being a bestseller. And the last one that she had is storytelling. Her storytelling skills are so extraordinary that people were so involved in the last story that she told, and it really showed her key point, which is how do you be yourself? How do you do art that you care about, that you like doing? So all of those things led up to an engaging presentation. These are some different tips, and we really hope that each of these help you create an engaging presentation the next time you're on virtual. If this video has been helpful and you want to take it further and you really want to become one of the top virtual presenters that you know, then I have a free gift for you. Normally I have a masterclass that people pay up to $100 for, but in this case, I'm going to give it to you for free. When you complete the 6 steps to more engaging virtual meetings masterclass, you'll find even more ways to engage with your audience. You'll have people coming back and telling you this is one of the most engaging presentations I have ever seen. You might even have people complain and saying, your presentations are too engaging. I was going to multitask during this program and I couldn't. If you want more of that, make sure and click the link in the description on how to get that masterclass.